Hey guys, it's Musa from Aussie Four Wheelers.
You might need a bit of a bump. See.
Okay. I'm building a media room for AFW, so I've approached Digital Cinema in Auburn for advice, equipment, planning, and all the gear. Let's go inside so I can show you. I'm sort of halfway through in the construction, so you can see what's been planned, how it's been planned, and what's been done already. Let's go. Look at all the tires. By the way, so as we're going into the room, look at all the four-wheel drive tires here in place with all the construction stuff going on. It's all got to be tucked away. I'm building a shed as well for it all, so it's all going to be moved out of place. All right, okay, the dimensions of this room. The room is 5 meters long and almost 3.4, just under 3.4 meters wide. All right, so this is where the screen is going to go. It's we're planned, measured, 140-inch screen. Basically, you can see the markings here, where it is from. So take into account, there'll be gyprock, and then there'll be also the sound matting. Might take about 15 mil, but that's pretty much where the screen's going to end up. And there'll be about an inch from the top or from the bottom of the bulkhead, and the bottom of the screen will be about there. I'll have about 10 to 15 mil gap from the top of the speaker. That's including the carpet that's going to come underlay. Well, there's going to be sound mat on the floor, underlay, carpet, plus the speaker, so I should have a small gap between the speaker and the screen. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the sound absorption and sound block. Don't want to disturb neighbors. I use the synthetic LED from Digital Cinema. They sell in rolls. So I'll line that with the sound matting all around the room as well as the floor before the carpets. But for the walls, that'll go after the insulation's complete. So the insulation is also for your temperature and also to block some sound. And then we have the sound matting to block the sound. This is similar stuff to the Dynamat that people use in cars. And then we go high density gyprock, which is a soundproof gyprock. I'm only using 10 mil because I don't want to, you know, for me every millimeter counts, because I only have a little bit of room on each side of the recliner. So due to that, I'm trying to make everything, you know, as slim as possible. And then once everything is painted, we'll also put the absorption panels. This area here in front of the screen, I haven't fully decided yet. Might go with 600 by 1200 size. But then we got around the room, for example, where we got the speakers. So we got these will be recessed speakers. So another reason I prefer the boxed, but considering I only got about 600 millimeters, so 2 feet gap between the recliner and the wall, if I have a box speaker at E level for the bottom recliner and an E level for the top recliner, you're going to be bumping it, or you won't be able to get through. It's just going to look awkward. It's too, you know, claustrophobic, and I don't want that. So I thought I'll go recessed. I'll even put the synthetic LED inside here to try to block as much as I can. And before I put the speaker, put some insulation as well in there. We're building a 7.2.6 system. So 7 speakers with 2 subwoofers and 6 Atmos in the ceiling. And basically Atmos speakers are going in at every joint through the ceiling. These absorption panels to pick up the sound rebounding from the other speakers, and the opposite absorption panels from these speakers, and so on. And then I'll have 2 absorption panels, 600 by 600 on the back walls, also with LED strip behind the shadow line. so it gives a nice effect, so that way they can absorb the sound coming from the front speakers. At the front we will have, I originally allowed the 3 spots for the recessed speakers, but because it's at the front I can always go boxed speakers, so I thought, you know what, I'll allow for it, but once I come to the point where I'm going to order the gear, I'll make my decision then. So I've just ordered the gear last week with Digital Cinema, and I went with box speakers. It's costing more, but it's going to be much better sound than having it recessed in the wall, so I'll just insulate that as normal. And so once a woofer on one corner, once a woofer on the other corner, and then the 3 speakers, one next to each subwoofer and one in the middle for center speaker, obviously. The wiring of the speakers, we've done all this, we've pre-wired basically everything, did all the electrical, the speakers, even seat shakers. You can see in the floor here, these wires are for the seat shakers that are for the 2 recliners, so there's 4 of them. Then we obviously got the speakers. When you're building, you got to wire it in first before you put the plasterboard in, so that way you don't cut holes afterwards. I ran everything in 12 gauge just for the sound quality and just future-proof myself as well at the same time. Also, I know it costs extra for the HDMI cable. I haven't run it in yet, but I'm not worried because I run in a 32mm pipe and glued and fixed, so when you drill the holes through the beam, I siliconed around as well, so it prevents from vibration, so silicon turns into rubbery, so there's no rattling noises or anything like that. So now I just draw in a yellow tongue when I cut the hole, because I haven't cut anything out yet. I want to first see how the projector's going to sit, and then draw in the HDMI cable. Everything's going through the wall. I've done everything so it's not here. I didn't want the equipment visible, so I thought I'll have all the equipment hidden. So all my RGB, fiber optic drivers, all the electrical stuff, all the equipment is behind this wall, internet, everything is behind that wall, and everything's been pre-wired. So I've also allowed 2 power points right at the back. This again is, I mean, it doesn't hurt having the 2 power points there, but I am planning, I got a Coke fridge and a popcorn machine, so I will see how it all looks once the recliners are in place. I don't want it to look too congested. If it looks okay, I'll leave it in there. If it doesn't look good, then I'm going to build like a bench, kitchen style type bench with popcorn machine on there and a bar fridge underneath for it, just outside the door here. But that's the plan. Doesn't hurt having extra power points. The platform originally, I was going to build a 1-step platform, but because of the size of the screen that I'm going to have, I worked out the sitting position, the front and the back recliner. I was worried about it's not going to be enough because the front heads, if they don't recline, they're going to be in the way of viewing for the rear. So I thought I'll build another step, so that's why there's 2 steps now. And we've got to set everything there, then call the painter to come and paint. Then we cut out, I want to do all the messy stuff before the carpet, cut out everything, get everything installed, and then call the carpet guy. Final thing, he can do all the carpets, and then I just do the LED strips and the absorption panels, and then we'll see you again once it's all done.